Hi y'all, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you what we are using for my third grader for the 2024-2025 homeschool year. So stay tuned. Alright, well if you are new, welcome to my channel, Pursuing Peace. My name is Dina and I am a homeschooling mama of 5 kiddos, 10 and under. And on this channel I share my passions for Christ, for homeschooling, and for encouraging mamas in their faith and in this amazing, even though it's crazy, it is an amazing season of motherhood. So if you'd like to join me on this journey, then click the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to click the little bell icon so you get notified whenever new videos pop up. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuing_peace. All right, you guys, well, I am excited. I'm going to show you what we have for third grade. Third grade, I have done third grade. This is my third time doing third grade. And I really do enjoy it. They have a lot more independence in this grade, and this is usually when I start like cursive and typing, and this year we're actually going to attempt to do something else for spelling. And so I've got some fun things to show you. Some curriculum you probably can already guess what I'm using, but I'm using a couple of different things. And then when I get to my 4th graders and 5th graders curriculum videos, I am changing it up a good amount. So subscribe and stay tuned for those videos coming up soon. And again, if you have seen my preschool video and my, not kindergarten, 1st grade video, I want to apologize again for the lighting. You might not even notice, but we are in southern Arizona and it is monsoon season. You probably can't hear the thunder right now, but there's thunder going on. I don't believe it's raining outside. It's not raining outside, but we have significant cloud cover, which is wonderful because it just refreshes and cools everything down, and my kids can actually like run outside and go play at the park before it starts to pour, you know. So but anyway, it's wonderful here, but it makes for some funky like lighting as far as filming goes. So anyway, so sorry if that's kind of weird, but I'm gonna do my best to try to let you be able to see all of these different curriculum that I'm going to flip through today. In today's video, we're going to do language arts and math and handwriting and spelling, typing, and those I think are it for like the individual subjects. For everything else like science and history and Bible and art and just different things like that, we do them as a family, and that will be a completely separate video, so stay tuned for that video also. All right guys, so without any further ado, I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you inside my 3rd graders curriculum. Okay, you guys, so the first thing that I want to show you is the level 3 handwriting. This is what we're using for handwriting from the Good and the Beautiful. And level 3 is where they introduce cursive. So here's a printing chart, and then here is a cursive letters chart. And the way that the Good and the Beautiful teaches cursive is they go through the colors of the rainbow, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue, etc. And you can see here, they just need to follow the colors. So they start with red, they find orange, and then they find yellow. So they know they don't go to green, they find yellow. They got to go up to yellow, red, orange, yellow, green, come back down to green. And so they just follow the colors of the rainbow and create muscle memory. And this has been pretty good for my first 2 children. So this will be my 3rd child that's going to start to learn cursive. And here's just an overview. They go through. They have these little activities, which are really neat. So they're going to draw it step by step. That's really cool. I like that. See, here's some A practice. This very first one. They're still doing print over here, so they go back and forth on print, so that way they can keep that skill going. Here's a maze. What does this say? Draw a log in the blank box. Draw mushrooms or flowers by it. That's really cool. My girl who's coming into this is going to really enjoy this, I think. She's gonna learn. She loves to make her letters real pretty and add little curly cues and stuff to it. So I think she's gonna really enjoy learning cursive. And we've really enjoyed the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. It's something that they can do on their own. So I just tell them, okay, go do your handwriting. It's part of their independent practice. And by that I mean independent work. You know, because a lot of times I need to work with my little ones. And so while I'm doing that, the big kids are doing their handwriting and other things that they can do on their own. So we really love the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. Look at that. And all of these little activities are really fun. I usually just have them do 1 page a day. If they want to do more, great. But they at least need to do 1 page a day. And then I have them bring it to me so I can see, okay, yes, they did it. And then I can see if they need help in any area, you know, forming any letters or anything like that. Or I can see if, you know, sometimes they get a little bit lazy in their writing and they kind of like, you know, and I'm like, okay, I know you can do better than that. Oh, I know you can. So I just encourage them to try it again, or if they're having, if they truly are having a hard time with letter formation or anything like that, then I sit down and I'll go through that with them. And we'll just practice. I always tell them, practice makes progress. It doesn't make perfect, so you don't have to expect to be perfect, but it does make progress. And a lot of times we don't see that progress until a few weeks down the road, right? So I tell them, just keep working, just keep working. I don't expect it to be perfect, but I do expect you to work hard at it. And it's really cool. Oh, look, Mom. It's really cool when they can see the progress. And I've had a few of my kids just be like, oh yeah, oh, practice does make progress. Look at that, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool when they can actually see it on their own. So yeah, so we go through and we really do love this handwriting. So yeah, so there are, let me show you. I like that it has this little congratulations certificate at the end. There are 100 pages in all of their handwritings. So if you do 1 page a day, that's 100 pages. You can do handwriting like every day if you want to. You can do it 3 times a week. You can do it 2 times a week, whatever works for your schedule. What I might do with her specifically is I might say handwriting 1 day and then typing the next day, so they can go back and forth. So then that's 200-ish days. I don't know. I haven't done the math. I normally don't plan these things out, guys. I don't sit there and plan it all out, especially with stuff like handwriting. It's just like, okay, we just keep going until we finish the book. And when we finish it, we move on to the next book. And sometimes, especially with this child, she finishes these handwriting books early in the year, and then I end up having to get her the next one. So it just depends on your child and what you want to do. So that's our handwriting. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is our language arts. This is level 3 from the Good and the Beautiful. I believe it's the 4th edition, and we have gone through this once with my boy, and he did so well with it, you guys. He thrived on this one. This is where they really start to become a little bit more independent. Oh, and for those of you who are new to the Good and the Beautiful, this covers phonics, writing, reading, grammar, punctuation, spelling, literature, geography, and art. Now, my children do that throughout this book, but we do geography and art and literature through classical conversations. So they do, this is not the only thing that they do with it, although I do think that if it is the only thing that you do with it, or if it's the only way that they're getting spelling or geography or language arts, I do think that it's enough. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. 4th edition. I do have another flip through of this before we used it, and I'll link that down at the bottom and up here at the top. It's last year when I'm showing my curriculum picks for my 3rd grader for last year. Is the first time we had ever gone through it, so I'm going through it for the first time. So this one's going to be a little bit different in that I will have already done it, and so it's a little bit of a review also. So there's a lot of stuff here at the beginning. Spelling, scope, and sequence. Oh, the credits. Here it is. The painting credits. So that way, they put them all here so that way they can do full art pages like this one. And they don't have to do anything else on that page. So this is lesson 1, and this is a good example of a lesson. So here it tells you to complete chapter 1 with the child in Timothy and the 10th floor. So I'm just going to go in order, and I'm going to show you what that is. So the language arts comes with 4 different of these books, and I'll show you the books in just a bit. These are level 3 readers. Here, let me move that out of the way so there's no distraction in the background. And it's a story. It's one long story, so this is a chapter book. It's got some vocabulary words, some challenging words, practice principles, every lesson. So at the beginning of pretty much every lesson, there are a few lessons where you won't read this because the lesson takes longer, but pretty much at the beginning of every lesson, you're going to go through this with your child. It takes us about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how long the chapters are, but at the beginning of each chapter, you have this practice page, and at first I was reading this whole thing to the child, or to my boy, but then I ended up, because it kind of does the same thing over, not all the time, but you get to know what these things are. And so here he's just reading the phonograms. So, qua, oi, o, and or whatever it is. And then he goes through and reads these words that use the OU spelling, and he can see what the different sounds it makes. And then it's got some vocabulary words down here that are going to be used in the chapter. So that's kind of neat, having the vocabulary words before we get to it. And then we read the chapter. So the student reads this first section, and then the parent will read, and you can see how that is a lot more words in that than it is over here, which is great. And it makes the story very interesting because, you know, you can read the more complicated words and read more of it. And the child can have more of the practice words in there. And so guys, yes, we have loved these books. We have absolutely loved these books, you guys. I can't, oh my gosh, I can't say enough good things about them. Like he just loved them. He just loved them, and I love being able just to sit, because sometimes we just forget to just sit with our kids, right? And so I love being able every day. Okay, there was a time that we could just sit for 10 minutes, 10-ish minutes, just sit together, cuddle up on the couch. Sometimes I'd read it at the table, because when I cuddle up on the couch, it makes me fall asleep. So, so just depending how I felt that day, we'd cuddle up on the couch or sit at the table and read this together and discuss what was going on and how Timothy changes throughout the book. And it's so, so good. So that's what you would do at the beginning of almost every lesson. So you have the lesson here, and then it says to complete the lesson with the child. So here you have the lesson, and you could either do this with the child, or you can go and he can watch the video. He or she can watch the video. And sometimes my boy would watch the video, and then he kind of understood it, but then he needed a little bit more help. And then so I would just kind of go through these. Here's some practice that you can go through with the child depending on what the lesson is. And then they had like a section of lesson practice where he can go through it. They can go through it on their own. And then I believe that was for something else. I don't know. I don't remember what this page was for. And then in this lesson, they have an artist study here where they read this here, and then they answer the questions here. And then here they have, they've got writing and art, and it's an audio. It's for lesson 1, and that's probably where this painting comes in. They look at the painting, they listen to the audio, and talks about, you know, it's kind of like art appreciation and learning lighting and shading and all of the different things like that. And I should mention, they're looking at that at the homeschooling app. So there is a homeschooling app. This is the little icon that I'll show you, you know, to use the app. And there's a homeschooling app, and you can get that for free. And it's got all of the lessons in there. It's got everything you need in there for all of their language arts. So that's really cool. And they do this a lot where it's creative writing, but they give them words here, which I think is really, really good. So it's a gentle way of kind of teaching them how to use, you know, strong verbs and just more descriptive writing. And I let them do this if they want to do it. Sometimes my boy, he would finish this before I even had a chance to say, oh, you don't have to do that. We are going to start using something different for creative writing. Not in 3rd grade, though. So I might just let her do it. She enjoys doing that kind of stuff, so I might just let her do it. So that is basically how a lesson works, guys. So you see, you go and you read one of the books, a chapter from the book, and then you do the lesson. Not all of the lessons have a video aspect to it. So every once in a while, you will have a lesson where you actually do need to go and teach. So my timing on how long I spent with my child doing language arts varied. Most of the time there is video, and most of the time he could do it on his own. Even if there wasn't video, a lot of times he could just read, you know, the lesson and figure it out on his own. So that was okay. But every once in a while I had to have that little extra time, maybe 15 extra minutes to do the lesson with him. And so let me show you this. So there's a lesson, and here's another aspect. It says to do this in the spelling practice book, lesson 2. So let me show you what that is. That's this here, the spelling practice book. And so they would pull this out and see, this is lesson 2. So here, this book is used every other lesson. So lesson 2, here's this chart that you would dictate these words to your child, and they have to figure out, okay, do I need to use a C at the end, a CK, or a K at the end of this word that ends in a K sound? And then they can do the rest on their own. They do front and back. What we really did love about this one is that these little riddles, it says, when is a piece of wood a king? And the child is not allowed to turn the page and find out the answer until he has done all of this. And then you can turn the page, and the answer is when it's made into a ruler. That's really cool. It's kind of clever. So they do this, like I said, every other lesson. And a lot of the lessons will have this chart. I don't know if all of them have it. Oh gosh, look. Maybe I just didn't realize that they all had it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, for the most part, he could do these on his own. Yeah, so this would just take just a few minutes for us to do together. So that's only every other lesson. So this is the lesson, and then he goes into, or she, sorry, I keep saying he because I've gone through this with my boy, but they go into the independent practice. Here's some editing, and he could actually do this pretty well. I do like that they broke this down a little bit more than they used to, and it has all of your rules here, like what you need to do. You need to start a sentence with a capital letter. So does it start with a capital letter? No, so then you have to fix it. And each sentence has 4 mistakes. So he was able, it took him a little bit to get used to how this worked, but once he did, he can breeze through those on his own. Every once in a while I'd have to help him with it, but it was pretty good. So here's a little bit of geography, syllables, and I'm just kind of flipping through this. That's basically how this language arts works. You go through, you read the book together, you work on this lesson. Here is another video lesson. This one has the spelling book, so you do the spelling book, and then they can do their independent practice on their own. And for the most part, he was able to do this independent practice completely on his own. It does say on every lesson, it says for at least 20 minutes, read a book on your level from the Good and the Beautiful book list. We didn't always use the Good and the Beautiful books, but we did do 20 minutes of reading or audiobook. And that I did later on because we have a child that still naps. So I just do that during her nap time. So yeah, guys. So this, they do more diagramming. I believe diagramming is introduced in level 2. So then here they start diagramming a lot more, and he actually really likes it. I love diagramming. It's like a puzzle to me. So I'm glad that my kids are enjoying that also. We plan on doing a lot more diagramming later on. Oh yes, so here's like, I think there's this where it's a few lessons. Like, so here's an example of a lesson where you will not read the book because there's a lot that you read here. And so you're going through and you're reading with the child. See, here's the student and here's the parent. And so it's like you're reading a book, but it's just within this lesson. And I believe there's a few days of that, yeah. Yeah, so this is really cool. I think it's just so great. It's just so great. I love that he was able to do it independently. Like, I questioned whether or not he was going to be able to do that. And when we first started, he needed not a lot more help, but he needed some help to understand what to do. But then after a while, guys, like, he just, like, went for it. He just did it all on his own. And this is my boy. If you saw my end of year curriculum review, this is my boy that wakes up super early in the morning. So a lot of times he gets this done before I even see him. So it's this one right here. That's right. Hi. So yeah, so it's been really cool, and I have seen him grow so much academically in this last year. It's been amazing. It's been really amazing to watch. He's 9 years old now. He's in the 4th grade, or he's going into the 4th grade. He's 9.5. He's gonna turn 10 in the middle of January. So yeah, edit the paragraph. Oh, I didn't even see this. So they're editing a paragraph. Well, let's see how that works. And oh, and I should tell you guys, we haven't even finished this one. So some of these lessons in the back here, we have not even gotten to. Oh, fanboys, oh, how fun. Coordinating conjunctions. So we haven't even gotten to a lot of these because, just because that's where we're at in the book. So my boy is not completely done with this yet. So even though he's moving into the 4th grade, he is still going to be in level 3. And actually the same thing with my 3rd grader. She is still working on her level 2 book, and we will finish that. And then whenever she finishes that, we will move on to this one here. So let me show you the other book. So this is Timothy and the 10th Floor. And then we read this one also. This is A Kingdom of Kind, which was a short story. It used to be a short story in level 3. But now they made it into a book, and guys, it is so good. I love being able to read these with my kids. Right now we are on Highland. You can see my little sticker here, flagging where we're at. What is this called? Heather and the Highland Ponies, yes. So yeah, so we're here right now, and then the last book that we have to read is The Journey of 5. And I assume that this is going to be a good book too. We have loved all of them so far. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to finishing up this level with my 9-year-old going into 4th grade, and then starting this level with my 3rd grader sometime this year. Okay guys, and this is something brand new to us. This is the Phonetic Zoo from IEW. And this is for spelling. And we are going to use this with my 3rd grader. We're going to use level A. This is the teacher's, it says teacher's notes. It's basically a teacher's guide. And it's got access, this is what this blue paper is access to different files. It comes with another blue paper to access to audio files where they're telling them the different spelling words. So this could be independent from my understanding, and I'm planning for it to be pretty much independent. I think there's a few things that I do have to teach the child, or my student, my kid, my kiddo, mi niña. I think there's a few things that I do have to kind of go through and teach her, so it kind of explains that. I'm still in the process of getting to know this curriculum, guys. I'm starting to, you know, read all of this that's up here, and then also just watch a bunch of videos because that's how I learn well. And so then here's the lesson, and it kind of goes through and tells you what you need to say to the child. And then here's lesson 1 discussion points. And here they break it down because this is for levels A, B, and C. And so here you got the spelling words for lesson 1 for level A, and then the next year when they've gone through that, lesson B, and then lesson C. So this year for my 3rd grader, we are just going to be doing the spelling words for level A, and I believe they need to master these words twice. They need to get 100% on that twice before they can actually move on to lesson 2. So it's not like, okay, one day you do lesson 1, the next day you do lesson 2. It's like you stay on lesson 1 until the bitter end. No, you stay on lesson 1 until they've mastered it. Which, I mean, I kind of like. And so they also have these phonetic zoo lesson cards. You've got the words here. So you have this up here. And then each of these, like this is the AI says A and AY says A, so that's what they're learning. So each of these words will have an A sound, and they have to determine, is it AI or is it AY? And here's a little jingle for them to remember it. So when AI says A, as in claim and chain, it comes in the middle, as in train and pain. But when AY says A, as in J and portray, it comes at the end, as in decay and delay. Don't let suffixes betray you, as in decayed. The root never changes. See playful and played. So, so they'll just kind of learn that. And on the audio version, it goes through this jingle a few times as they're saying this. So it'll say like brain, played, chain. I'm slower than that, obviously. And then it'll kind of go through this again. And then it'll do the next ones, and they spell them out. And it'll go through this again. And so they do the next ones. You know, so it's kind of neat. It kind of just keeps going and keeps going. And they just do that daily until they can take the test. And if they spell them all correctly, they can move on to the next lesson. So, like I said, I am still learning a lot of this, guys. But I've heard good things. I'm going to link a video down below. My friend Megan over at Pennies and Salt has a video about phonetic zoo, and she knows a lot more about this than I do because she's used it before. So I'm going to link her video down below if you want a little bit more information on exactly how this works. See, like for instance, these are cards that I have no idea what to do with. I haven't gotten to the point where I am looking or where I understand what to do with this. So I guess it's got, okay, let me see. Let me start at the beginning. Okay, so here's this manta ray and caiman alligator, I guess. And then it's got the jingle in the back. So I don't know if these are flashcards. I don't know what to do with any of these. So, so I will watch more videos and find out and let you know. Or you can go watch videos. There's a lot of videos about phonetic zoo. So go check it out. I did end up getting like the premium bundle where it's like everything because we have ESA here in Arizona, so I can't afford it. But they do also have like budget bundles where you just get the bare minimum of what you need. And I believe those don't come with the audio version. But I did watch a video of someone who said, I mean, you could just record yourself saying this, right? And oh, and I think they actually have a sample lesson on their website. So I will link their website below where you can go and you can just get a sample lesson for free. And I don't know, see if this works for you guys. I am excited. This is something else that they can do independently other than their handwriting and typing. I am excited to have something independent because I need to spend more time with my little ones. And I need my bigger ones to become a little bit more independent. So we're going to see how this spelling works because you heard me say it a whole bunch of times. I think the weakest point in the language arts for the good and the beautiful is their spelling. And even though my kids are okay and I think they're fine, I think this might help them just a little bit more. And so we're gonna try this, and I will let you know how it works for us. Okay guys, and for typing, I have decided to try Type C. It's made for schools, but it has a specific section here for homeschoolers, so you can sign up as a homeschooler, so that's really neat. Let me show you what the prices are down here. So here you've got Type C Homeschool Family Plan for $67. Now these are all for 5 years, so that's a lot. So, you know, 67 divided by 5, and that's how much you pay a year. You do have to pay the whole thing up front, but that's for 5 years, so that's pretty good. And then you have 2 parent-teacher admin accounts where you can both go in and see all of the different tests and assign curriculum and all kinds of stuff like that. You have enough space for 4 students. And then here you have the full curriculum and everything. For a big family, which is what we are going to be doing, we have enough for 3 admin accounts and 10 students. Right now I only have 3 students who are going to be doing typing, but eventually I will have, within the next 5 years, I will have all 5 of the kids doing typing. So, and they do have an option for like younger kids. So if I do want my first grader and my preschooler to kind of start typing a little bit, then I can, and I can decide at any point there when I want to start doing that. So let me show you. This is, nope, not this. This here is what the admin interface looks like. I believe that's what they called it, admin interface. This is what it looks like, and this is where you can see all your students. You can add your children, you can rename a class. You can print out logins because each child will have their own login, which I thought was really cool. And all they can see is their own stuff. Plus, there's no ads for any of this, which is wonderful. And if you look up here, I've already added my students. So here you can see all of their students, and you can see like their different levels. Now, I have gone in just to kind of play with this a little bit for Aubrey's. That's why it says that she's online right now. But that's neat that it tells you, okay, they're online right now. Pretty soon these things will all kind of fill up, but I can't see anything right now because we haven't started it. But for instance, let me go to Aubrey, and this is her page here. It shows they have their own username, and I made their username their name and the year they were born. I thought that'd be good for them to constantly be typing that. So that's good. And I'm sure there's going to be much more information that pops up here once they really get started with these typing. You can go to like user reports, individual settings. So if you disable the skipping ahead, you don't want them to skip ahead. Oh, and I can't do that here because I'm actually on her account, not the admin account. So that's pretty neat. So it'll show you all of these, but I'll show you them in the admin account. And then here, there's nothing here yet. And then they do have tests that they have to do every once in a while, and it'll show you the test results. Here, I'm going to have them do a placement test. They just haven't done it yet. And so, oh, sorry, let me go back to, let's see. Okay, this is my account. So this is my admin. So if I go over here, and I can go over here to settings, and it'll show you, see here, where I disabled the skipping ahead. So you have a lot of control, which is, you can even change the font. That's really cool. Oh, fixed class, I don't know. Typing, you can allow them to backspace or not, so that way you can see whether they messed up or not, or what, I don't know. I'm not sure, because this is the first time we've used any sort of typing program that's not a book, so so we'll see as I go through, and I'll give you an update later on how I like it. But this is where I would see all of the test results. Oh, and this is really cool, guys. So word work. This is where you can assign a word list. So say we're working on spelling words, you know, all of those spelling words that we're going to be doing with Phonetic Zoo. And I want them to type them out, you know, that they can do, I can put them on here and they can use that to type out those words. So I thought that was really cool. Spelling words, or say I want them to, oh, I don't know if I can do sentences. Let's see if I can do a sentence. Okay, so there's different grade levels, I think. I don't know. So I guess they have different words here, but then here, word list was successfully assigned. But what are my words? So view and edit is empty. Add words. words. Okay, so I can put here like, what was it? 7 wonders or something like that. I don't know. Can I save it? Oh, okay, so they did them as separate words. Okay, so I can't make like our sentences. I can't put it in there. Oh, look at here, dictionary, lesson. This is all really cool. 7. So it tells you the meaning of the word. This is all very interesting. I'm gonna have to look through this a little bit more. Okay, and then here you can assign the curriculum. This is the curriculum that I've assigned to them. Oh, and here I can assign, okay, here it is. I can assign the different curriculum to them if I wanted to. So here's that Type C little ones for K through 2nd grade keyboarding. So I thought that was really cool. And these guys, their characters. Every time I point to it, it goes somewhere else. But their characters, and at the beginning of at least lesson 1, it has a whole story of how there's a word blur guy, and he's trying to take over the world and blur all the words, but thankfully we have friends who can help us type all the words. And so it's just kind of a fun little thing. And then this little guy right here, he goes and he teaches you how to type all of the different words, starting with the home row. And so that's really cool. So, and this, guys, is not just for like little kids either. Like you can do, see, here's high school and middle school career focused typing. So if you want to sharpen your typing skills, just basic for adults. Here's the numeric pad, which is really good to use. And then I believe, I don't know why it just has the state of Texas, but here are the state of Texas grade requirements. I don't know if this is from Texas or what it is, but that's kind of cool that it has that on there. So if I wanted to do that, I could assign cross-curricular. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's just like, not only they're typing a bunch of different things, maybe history stuff too, I don't know. But there's just a whole bunch, like sight words, digitals. I believe down here there's also, look, there's coding. There was also something else. What is it? Oh, vocabulary booster, training, career success. There was also something on here like how to use YouTube or something. Maybe that's an older one. I will link a video down below of the video that I watched. I watched a whole bunch of videos, guys, but the video that I watched that helped me out the most, I will leave it linked down below in the description box so you can go check it out. She's used it, and so she knows probably a little bit more than I do. Most definitely a little bit more than I do, because I have never used this before, but I'm excited. I'm excited to use this with my kids. And let me give you kind of an idea of what the lessons are. So this is Aubrey. So this is the student interface. So this is what Aubrey would see when she logs in. And so she goes through, and this is what she would see first. Because I have gone through and done a little bit of this, it says here continue. So I'm going to click on that real quick, and you can see it's got all of the different levels, and we've unlocked this first one because I started playing with it a little bit, but she cannot get to any of these levels until she has done this one. I want to kind of show you a little bit. So here is where we've gotten. I'm going to come back. Oh, I can clear it when I'm done. That's good. Okay, well, it won't show me the video, but there's a little video that happens beforehand, and he goes through it, and he explains how to set up your fingers, and he goes through it pretty slowly, which is wonderful, and they can rewatch the video if they want to. And now they're going to go through and see, I'm typing the letters for them, and then space, so they go through and do that. So that's really cool. I like that typing sound. That's really fun. So yeah, so I'm going to try to go back, and I'm going to clear this for her. Yes, please clear it, because she should do it on her own. Perfect. See, now it says start. Oh, and here is, let's see, home row, top row. Oh, so it shows if you need practice on certain levels, shift key, punctuations. Oh, that's good. On the keyboard. And here we've got some play. I don't really know what that is. Oh, I guess it's just games. Well, that's good. They can play games, words. Oh, okay, so this is where the list of words would pop up. Tasks, they don't have any tasks. Fame, I think it's like, see, I guess you can earn points. And so I think this is whoever is using Type C, you know. And then here is her profile where she can see her progress. I thought this was really neat. This is a keyboard knowledge heat map. So it'll show you, it doesn't have anything here, but once she starts pressing on these different keys, they'll start to turn orange and even more orange depending on how often they use them. So that's neat. So I can go over here, and this will show up on my profile too. So I can go over and see, okay, what is she typing? And these, when she first starts, it's probably going to be a lot of this home row right here, which is wonderful, wonderful. A little bit at a time, right? Do you guys remember learning how to type? I remember learning how to type in like, gosh, I think it was at least 3rd grade, if not 2nd grade, where I started learning how to type in, you know, big old giant computer. And oh, it was so cool. I remember that was one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. And then my mom taught me how to type a little bit more later on. So I love typing. I absolutely love typing. Oh, it's got pets. Oh my gosh, they're gonna love that. Oh goodness. Portfolio, nothing here. Stats, nothing here yet. Options. Okay, they can change it up just a little bit. I like that it gives them some options, but it's not like they don't have access to the internet. Well, I mean they do because they're on the computer, but but it doesn't have, you know, anywhere where they can click to get to the outside of Type C very easily. So I'm looking forward to this, guys. I will keep y'all updated and let y'all know what I think about it, maybe in the middle of the year or at the end of the year. I'm kind of wanting them to start this like right now. I'm so curious to see how this works. But anyway, all right, guys, so this is what we are using for typing, and I will leave it linked down below. Okay, guys, then the last thing we have here is math for my 3rd grader, level 3. Again, she's still working in her level 2 math, so whenever she finishes that, even though she's moving on to 3rd grade, she's still going to be doing that. But whenever she finishes that, we will start on her level 3. And this one, guys, level 3 is where they are almost completely independent from you. So I still help her with her level 2 math. But once she starts level 3, it is very independent. So I think this is one of the books that I actually don't have a flip through video of. So this is going to be your flip through of this math level 3. I do like these. My oldest has already gone through this, so I kind of know how this works. They have reference sheets here in the front of everything that they're going to learn. So I don't know if you want to, like they can flip back, or you can make copies of this and like hang it up on their wall so that whenever, you know, they need to know, okay, what was the order of operations or the time conversions or the formulas or temperature, whenever they review that, then they have it there and they can see it if that's something that you want for them to do, or they can just flip to the back or to the front of the book, which is what my oldest did. Here they have a multiplication mastery chart. We actually didn't use this. My children learned how to skip count through CC, and so multiplication is one of those, they know what it is, they know how to do it, but they don't have them memorized. So I'm not sure, we're still working on trying to help them memorize everything. And here's a multiplication chart. It goes to 12. We actually know them all the way to 15. Because of CC. So we're working on that, and I might show you a little bit more about how I plan to help them out in my family subjects video or in my morning basket video. I can show you what we're going to use this year also. Okay, so the way that a lesson works is, again, there's a review, and see, this you would go through it with the child, but a lot of times they can just do it on their own, like, because it doesn't give them the answer. It says skip count by 5s from 5 to 60. I know that they can do that because we do skip counting already. So skip count by hundreds. So sometimes I will go through that with them. Or if I know, like I know that my boy knows how to do this, so it's not a big deal. I don't have to, we can skip that. And then they go through, and you do read this to the child. Now, depending on your child, so my oldest was able to do this pretty much on her own. But you do teach the lesson to your child. and then they go through and do the lesson. Maybe this is the first time they have lesson practice. I think this is the first time, I'm not sure guys, I can't remember, but I think this is the first time the math has lesson practice and not just review. So you've got lesson practice, so you teach the lesson, they do the lesson practice, and then they have review from previous lessons. So this is all just review from other things. Oh, this is a note to the parent and talking about multiplication in this math. And so the same thing, you do the review, you go through the lesson with them. A lot of times she grasps these concepts pretty quickly, so I didn't have to do a lot of that. Maybe about 10 minutes. I would say maybe about 10 minutes to do this and do the lesson. And then they do the lesson practice, right? They do the lesson practice and then they do the review. And again, the review can be done either after the lesson like this or before the lesson, because it goes over concepts that were previously taught, not what was just taught. And I really appreciate that, because I can say, okay, go start on your math review, and they can go do that while I'm still working with other kids and before I am ready to work with them. So they really go into multiplication, and it's a lot of like wonderful things. I just love, it does come with a math manipulative box that you can get, but something that I really thought was really cool is in the back of this book, they actually have like punch outs. So let me show you this back book. They have these guys. Okay, so this is something, this is just paper, but here you actually go through and punch these out, guys. Isn't that so cool? So they go and then they make their ruler, and then they can use this ruler, and you can actually fold it so it fits really well in our like school bins, and then they can use it throughout their course, and you don't have to go out and have a yardstick, you know? Like, who wants to carry around a yardstick in the schoolroom? They've got a whole bunch of these. Lesson 67, lesson 23, fractions, just a whole bunch of these in the back. And I just thought, when we realized that, when we started last year, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's all right there. It's all right there, and you don't have to buy anything like crazy extra. That's what the Good and the Beautiful does really well, is if it does have something that you're gonna need, like look, supplies. So they'll have extra supplies listed here at the beginning of each lesson, which is wonderful. You're gonna need 4 measuring spoons, and you're gonna need sugar and salt. I mean, who doesn't have that already in their home, right? You know, so I love it, it's so good. Did I actually do this right? Did I lay this flat? Huh. I might have actually done a book right, guys. You know, if you watch my videos at all, you know that I have such problems with these lay flat binding. I never do it right, and it never lays flat. So I might have done that by accident, and now I'm not really sure how to do it. So, so I'm not sure. Oh gosh, oh goodness. But there is a lot in here. Like, I will say, like, it's a lot more visually than any of the other previous math course books. So I was very pleasantly surprised when my oldest could just kind of go through this, and she did everything that she needed to do, and she understood everything. Because some of these, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. That scares me a little bit. Which it shouldn't, but I don't know if I just get like overstimulated visually. I've talked about this before in my videos, where like a lot of black and white on one page just like fries my brain, and if I just take it one step at a time, then I know I can do it, but it hurts me. Anyway, but she was able to do this just fine. And at the end of every lesson, there is this section where she does multiplication facts, and she is supposed to go through their musical multiplication. Like for instance, it says go through set D for 10 minutes. So she'll set a timer for 10 minutes, listen to set D, and then do these.
and I think that's fine. I'm not sure if it's, because she's been doing that for a long time. She still doesn't have it memorized. So I don't know. I'm not really sure how to fix that, but, or if it needs to be fixed. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, they understand the concept. My second grader understands the concept of multiplication because of skip counting. She understands like 2 groups of 2. You know, she can skip count by 2. She knows when to use it. She understands that that's multiplication. So, yeah. I don't know. But anyway, so yes. So this one, oh, we actually finished this one. Oh, this is one of the ones we actually did finish. So it does have assessments throughout. Let's see. Look, I'll show you. Oh, this is a difference between like my first graders, level 1, and then this is level 3. So you've got the course assessment, and they have assessments throughout here. Before they start each unit, they have an assessment to make sure that the child knows what they're doing. So they go through, and I don't think you actually have to do very much with the child. It's pretty much they just do it on their own. So they'll do their purple sections. So they'll do this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14, 15. See how long that is compared to level 1? Level 1 was like, I think only 2 pages, or maybe 2.5 pages. And they'll go through, and as long as they can do these upper sections with no trouble, then they don't need to do these orange sections down here. Every once in a while, I'll have them do one of the sections because I could tell, okay, you've always struggled with this concept, so let's do the extra practice. And so there's that, but for the most part, they can do them no problem at this point, because this is all the stuff that they've been reviewing for all of this book. So a lot of this is, they recognize it, they understand what to do with it. Here's the appendix, which I think is basically just all of those little punch outs, which I love. I love the punch outs. It's like my favorite part of this math. Oh, I am easily pleased. All right, so this is the course book. And now this is the math box. This has changed a little bit. If you remember, it used to be wood, which we do still have the old wood, but I wanted to get this because I wanted to show you what the new math boxes look like. And I think as much as I like visually what the wooden one looks like, I think I like this one better because it's easy to open and close. The other one was kind of hard to pull out and stuff like that. I mean, it was fine. It was fine, and I do really like it, but this one it shuts pretty well too. Like, it's pretty sturdy, you see. So anyway, so we open it up here, and it's basically the same thing inside. So you've got your little, what do they call it? Oh gosh, I can't remember what they call it in the book. I don't remember what it's called, but every once in a while they'll reference this, and they have to go through and write down how many days are in each month. And then here they'll have to go and write the temperature at which water freezes, Fahrenheit and Celsius, boils, Fahrenheit, Celsius, average temperature, Fahrenheit and Celsius. And then they've got a graph here in the back, and they do multiple different, they just do different activities using that graph. And then in here we've got a measuring tape. We've got measuring tape. We have dice, so a 10-sided die, a normal 6-sided die, and then these are like, I think these are like equivalent dies where you roll them. It's like a game, and you roll them, and like, is 1 pint equivalent to 4 quarts? No, it's not. I had to think about that one. But no, it's not. But 4 quarts is equivalent to 1 gallon, you know. So if this is a gallon, then yes, we won, yay. But if it's not, then it's not. And then we've got some ponds. I've always liked these little ponds. We've got a lot of these kind of floating around because we have a lot of these math boxes. And then these, they're kind of different. They're tanagram pieces. And they're only different in that they're like foam. You see that? Some of these stick to each other, but they're foam pieces. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that they're foam and they can like stick to each other a little bit better. than before. Before, I believe there were wooden pieces, and we still have those. But again, like I said, I wanted to just show you guys what this, and I wanted to see myself, what these new math boxes look like. And I do really like them, and I think it'd be neat to have her using this. Oh, this is a little bit more flimsy than the other one, but I think it'll work. This actually fits in quite nicely. The other one you had to fandangle it, however you say it. You had to like make sure you push it in before you slip that lid on. So this actually, I think, works a little bit better than the old one. And something else that you can get, this is completely optional, is this scratch pad. When I got it last year, I was like, I don't know, it's like graph paper. I was like, I don't know, do I really need this? I don't know. But you know what? My third grader at the time used it a lot. She used it a lot. So, so that's good. Having a place where, okay, this is where I do my math, instead of just having a notebook, was really cool. And then that graph paper actually did come in handy for different activities that they asked her to do. Again, it is optional, but it's really cool. And it's really neat that it all matches. See, it all matches, like, it's just so pretty. Oh my goodness, the things that make me happy, I'm telling you. So yeah, guys, so that is what we're using for math.
All right, you guys, well, that was it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful for you as you are choosing what curriculum you're going to use this year for your third grader. And as always, I will link everything down in the description below so you can go and check those out. And please leave any questions you have down in the comments, and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you know whenever new videos pop up. And let's be friends. Follow me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuing_peace. Oh, did you hear that thunder? That was really good. I'm so excited for monsoon. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you're having a blessed day, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye-bye. Third grade.
And the answer is, nope, that's the wrong answer. Sorry.
Oh, I think it just started raining.
Yay. Don't let suffocases.
Oh, did you hear that one? That was a good one.
Wait, are you talking about me?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.